Hey guys, it's John here. Haven't made a video in a while. I was battling a foot injury, which I'm still kind of dealing with. But it's been a few months since I've actually flown. I've flown, twice in the last month with my foot injury, but since I've actually gone out and spent some time, it's been a little while. I want to make a video today about like the short field takeoff and landings. Obviously with that Red Bull stuff that's been going on where they landed that carbon cub on top of the helipad, all of a sudden you're seeing a huge influx of YouTubers doing that. And I would love to be able to have like a little area sectioned out with that size and everything, but obviously I'm here at an airport where you can't just go willy-nilly like that. So I'm going to use the 1,000 footers, which are 150 feet long. I've been watching like some of my favorite YouTube channels all doing this stuff, flight tests with remote control airplanes, and Tucker Gott with powered paramotors, and who else? Oh, Trent Palmer just did it too. And it kind of got me more thinking, like, in an emergency situation, what exactly can I look down and see, from the cockpit, and what would I be able to achieve in a field, someone's front yard, someone's backyard, on the road? Obviously I have a general idea just from flying the plane, but one thing to take into consideration when you're landing at an airport is that you have a long, you're looking at the runway and everything is clear of your path. If you're landing in someone's front yard, obviously you're probably going to be ducking down between trees and stuff. So one of my goals today is to use the 1,000 footers as reference, and number one, start by trying to take off and land on them. They're 150 feet long, like I said, just to kind of see what the plane is capable of. I'll probably put my flaperons down a little bit, and then after that, my goal is to kind of come in and then swoop down at it, just to kind of see, like, if I had to swoop down over trees in someone's yard, how fast could I get on the ground and get it stopped. Now obviously this is cement and stuff, and so I'm gonna be in ground effect a little longer than I would if I was landing in a field. If it was an emergency, I would obviously just plop it down. Here obviously I'm not going to be able to do that, but I have my all the checklists for the plane, and so my VX is 50 in this plane. I don't know, I'm assuming this is generic for Challenger, and they're all probably just a tad bit different. I've got the regular struts and all that stuff, but I've tested out all of these and I feel like they're fairly accurate. I think at 43 to 45 I can pop this thing off the ground, and then I can stay in ground effect and then pick up speed. Or if I'm trying to clear an obstacle, then I can fly VX, which would be 50. VY, which is our best rate, is 55 in this plane, and that is usually how much I climb. But I like altitude, so I just climb. If you are climbing and you lose your engine, obviously. Alright, someone was walking by, so I wanted to make sure that people probably think I'm crazy. I don't think people at the airport like that I make YouTube videos, but it is what it is. Like I was saying, it's the best course of action is to just bury the nose into the ground and pick up airspeed, because obviously if you're climbing at VX, which is 50, and you lose the engine, you're automatically going to lose speed, and you're going to be close to your stall. So you're going to want to get your nose down fairly quickly. At VY 55, it gives you a little bit more, but obviously the goal is to get your nose down. I've never heard anybody talk about it, but I don't think I would make a turn in this plane unless I had like 65 or 70, like if I was aiming towards the ground. You turn back to the runway. Obviously a turn is not a good idea in a plane when you don't have a lot of airspeed, because then you just stall and you into the ground. So my goal today is to kind of test that short field theory, and also to see what type of distance it takes for me to take off and land in this, so I just have a better idea. Haven't made a video in a while, so I figured I would do something. So I've already pre-flighted the plane. It's ready to go. Cobweb. I just flew it last week too, so my fuel is a week old, so that's good to go. Also, I've recently done 2 polls on Challenger's Facebook page. Not, I don't know if it's actually Challenger, but like the Challenger group. It seems to be the main one on Facebook. And the poll was basically, I did 2 of them. One of them was with your fuel lines. How do people prefer to use the, or to put, to attach them to the engine? So like do people prefer the hose clamps, which is a majority of what I have now? Do people prefer zip ties? I've even heard, and safety wire. Anyways, so there's 70 some odd 100 people or something on there, and I think only like 60 people replied to that one, and it was overwhelmingly safety wire. I'm gonna move mine to safety wire. I just haven't had to do anything really to change it up yet. The other poll I did was fuel. There's a lot of debate. There's a lot of debate over fuel. I found, or actually my hangar mate found 91 ethanol free at Walmart here. So that's what I've been putting in here. For the record, in the poll, a lot of people voted, and that's what they said, 91 ethanol free. So that's pretty much what I'm going to focus. That's the only thing I'm going to put in here from now on, unless I'm going to pickle or I'm using it right away. Then it's going to be the 91 ethanol free. So anyways, I'm going to get this thing out, and the next clip should be getting her fired up. Well, guys, I didn't think this would happen again, but of course it did. I normally have a second camera, and I changed the view. Here's this about to pop up. This is going to be my new camera view with my audio and everything, and when it works, I'll be able to aim it forward or down at the panel depending on what I'm doing, and it'll pick up my audio. Unfortunately, since it's a GoPro 9 and I've had nothing but problems with it, after 2.5 minutes of me filming with it, it decided to do a corrupt file thing. So here I am again to walk us through this. I'll probably end up getting rid of the 9 and getting another 11. This footage you see here is from an 11. It actually, you can see the difference between the 9 and the 11, which is why I put the 11 on the wing, because you can see so much detail with it. You guys probably are getting tired of hearing me talk from some of these videos, and hopefully this is the last one. I have put too much faith in the GoPros, but anyways, so yeah, I'm doing a run up here, and like I said when I was talking before, my plan with today is to do some basically just short field takeoff and landings, just to kind of see what the plane's capable of. I have done it here and there, but I don't really make it a priority to kind of get a sight picture on how much distance it takes to take off or land, because I have such a long runway. It's not something I worry about. But with all that Red Bull stuff going on and everything, I thought it'd be kind of cool to get out here and do it. And of course, from the time I got to the airport to the time I went flying, this turned into a direct crosswind. So I have a left to right crosswind, and so this wasn't really a short field takeoff. This was just kind of a normal one. As Challenger owners know, the Challenger is a windsock. So I am instantly just grabbed right into the wind, and realizing here that it's probably not the best day to do that stuff, the short, because if I have an emergency, I'm going to have a good idea where the wind's coming from, mainly because my airplane's a windsock. So I will then make my emergency, if I have enough altitude, into the wind, because the Challenger is a very wind-dependent aircraft. Any aircraft with an emergency, you should try to get into the wind to land, but obviously there are some scenarios where that's not possible. With my airplane, I feel like I would make it a priority. But one thing I want to point out, and I have before in videos in the past, is my gears shake like crazy when I take off. So I have to slam on the brakes right away, and I seem to always forget until I feel them just shaking away. You'll see here I'm about to turn downwind. And you'll see actually how windy it is just by my seatbelts actually start to kind of blow the opposite direction. And here I pull the throttle way back, but I'm still going about 70 over the ground, even with my throttle pretty much all the way back. And like I said, I'm realizing that my ambitions of, you know, doing the short field takeoff and stuff is probably not going to happen. Here I'm trimming it out a little bit. And again, you know, I was talking and, you know, making a video while I was doing this, but not knowing the GoPro wasn't going to work didn't really do it for me. So here, this is my first go around. I just decided to kind of get comfortable. I hadn't flown in a week or two, so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to fly down the runway and get a feel for this wind, even though the wind's a little different down there than it is up here. There was nobody else in the pattern. So my second time around, I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna come in high and try to swoop down and get on the 1,000 footers. Not super aggressive. There were probably 10 people just standing by their hangars watching everything I was doing. So, you know, you don't really get much privacy at an airport. Everybody wants to see what's going on. So I didn't want to be too aggressive, but I thought to myself, okay, boom, I had an emergency, the engine's off. I did accidentally add a little bit of power, but it was just because my thought process was get to the 1,000 footers. But as you can see, I overshot them a little bit. That crosswind kind of got me on that one. So I just went around, figured we'll do this a couple times and get that gear to stop. Hit the brake, boom. In here, I'm not even trying. Normally I do move to the right a little bit, but I wasn't even trying. The wind was just blowing me to the right. That's kind of how windy it was. On my next pass here, same thing, you know. I'm like, okay, now I want to be a little bit more aggressive. I want to get, you know, I'm higher up. I want to get down. I want to get on the 1,000 footers. And, you know, the Challenger wants to fly. It's a floaty airplane. Don't get me wrong, it'll plop to the ground when it gets slow enough, but with some speed like this, it doesn't really want to land. So here I got on the 1,000 footers. I didn't slam on my brakes or anything, again, because there are people literally watching everything I'm doing. I would say I don't know why I kept looking over, even right, that's what I'm talking about right there. I'm looking over, like, I don't know why these people are just staring at everything I'm doing, but that's what's going on. So I guess it's not every day that there's like a yellow experimental with a big guy just floating around doing stuff. So out there, that's probably a pretty interesting thing. Right here, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna put my nose right on the stripes, and I didn't want to taxi all the way up to 1,000 footers with all the people watching me. So I'm like, all right, now this here is a legit full power brakes, brake release. You know, about 40, I started to pull back. I'd say about 45, it got off the ground. I don't know how far that was, but it was probably, you know, 150 to 200 feet. I am full of fuel, and I keep on saying 250, but I weighed myself. I've gained some weight. I'm up to 260 now, so time to hit the gym or just, you know, eat less food, I guess. With my foot injury that I've had recently, I've gained a little bit of weight just kind of laying around with my feet elevated. Oddly enough, I went from one foot injury to injuring the other foot, trying to stay off of the other foot. It's a vicious cycle. If you ever have that issue, tend to it instantly, get crutches or a boot or something. I made the mistake of thinking, oh, it'll be okay. And it wasn't. So here I just flew by again. I don't really remember why. There was no traffic or anything. I think I was just, you know, flying a little bit. I do have a video idea coming up here pretty soon where I'm going to be flying up to a area where a guy has his own personal strip. It's 98 miles from here, and he said I could camp and fish and we can go get gas and all that stuff. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I will probably just do that solo, although I'd love to take one of the boys. I just want the first big trip like that to be solo, you know, just to kind of get a feel for it. So here I am trying to get back on the 1,000 footers, some more practice. And, you know, I will say this, I could be far more aggressive, guys, but being on the cement and having, you know, people watch just wasn't my idea of fun. So I believe in this one here, I'm actually doing, it might be wrong, but I think at this point I decided to do complete engine power back at 200 feet. on takeoff. I think that's this one. We'll find out here in a second. But I do a full power takeoff. So I think these lines are 100 foot, 150 feet. So there's the 1.4. So I mean, it's about 200 feet. I pop off right at the 1.4 and climb. And again, I think I get up to, I believe this is the time that I get up to 200 feet. And I go, no, it's not. I wouldn't be trimming it out like that. So, sorry, false alarm. That's the next time around. This time, I don't really remember what's going on. I'm sorry you guys have to listen to this audio and not just what I'm talking about. I'm awfully creative when I'm in the plane. When I'm sitting in my living room, I'm not super creative. This is not my creative zone. But, so let's just assume this is the last time trying to land on the 1,000-footers. I believe it is. I think the wind got so bad here that it actually lifted the left side of the plane. This is the thing with a plane like the Challenger. So watch my landing. My left gear is like pretty close to center line, but I'm getting pushed over. And nope, this isn't the one. Oh man, so there's another one. Yeah, sorry to put you guys through this. I did a lot of flying on this day. I think it was like 1.1 hour. And I kept back taxiing, you know, just trying to get the takeoff distance figured out. So I'm pretty sure this is the last one before I end up doing I do two emergency engine outs on takeoff. The first one from 200 feet and the second one from 300 feet. And realistically, I think I could probably get all the way up to like, you know, 500 or 600 with the amount of runway I have. And if the engine goes out, I could just slam the nose of the ground and get all the way down there and just enter ground effect really fast. And, yep, this is it. So, okay. Yeah, this is my 200-foot engine out. I get up to 200 feet, but we're at 680, so I get up to about 900. Engine off, and not off, but just full power back slowly so I don't hurt anything. The second time I actually did it a little too aggressive, and yeah, you probably shouldn't pull the power back on a 503 quite as aggressive as I did, but I did make that decision because I wanted it to be as authentic as possible. So if there's any Rotax guys out there, don't harass me. It's probably not a good idea to do it this way, but I want to get that feeling. I want to feel the momentum leave the plane completely during a climb. That was my thought process. Was I want the authentic, you know, how it's going to feel if I lose the engine while I'm in takeoff, which, as we all know, this is the most critical time here. The most dangerous time to have an engine out, in my opinion, and most people's opinion, is during your climb out. One of the big mistakes people make is, you know, obviously, and you guys know this, but they're trying to hold the nose up, trying to glide somewhere. No. When you get the engine out in a plane like this, you know, unless you're in level flight, put the nose to the ground. You know, you saw my engine out earlier. Boom, here's the engine off. I just put the nose there. I felt that little gravity situation there, and boom, nose straight to the ground. I'm not being aggressive at all. I mean, I could have already been on the ground if I wanted to. I'm just being very careful with it. This is the one where the wind really picks up. So I'm starting to feel it here. I'm like, wow. So I get my left wing down a little bit, and all of a sudden the wind just blows me way over. And luckily I had enough aileron correction in there where it didn't pull the wing up. But so that's basically the video for today. I'm sorry that I had to do a voiceover. I'm sorry that I am a boring voiceover guy, but I swear to you my GoPros will work better from now on. I'm probably going to order another 11 so that I don't have to deal with this again. And yeah, if you haven't yet, please subscribe. Not all my videos suck as bad as this one did. Then, like I said, the next one, hopefully I'll get out and do a trip to, this field, which is up near Greenville, Texas. So anyways, appreciate you guys watching. Please please leave a like and a comment. Maybe even share it with your other friends who do flying. And have a good day.